After 5 years of wanting to drive one, we finally got it, a BMW Z4.
This is what a product of German engineering and Japanese design looks like.
Most people complain that this is a BMW, but it's a German car at the price of a Japanese one. How is that a bad thing?
In this video, we'll give you an honest opinion on its exterior.
Favorite part of the car for me, the M badge. It looks very appropriate.
A very honest opinion on its interior and its engine.
And we'll take it for a drive to see if the opinion of the Supra being a boring car really true.
You're watching Total Talk. This is a Toyota GR Supra, a car that was launched back in 2019, which ended up being one of the most controversial Japanese cars ever made. In the recent years, the GR Supra has been known to be one of the best sports cars ever made. To kick off with the review, let's start with the exterior.
Let's do a quick walk around of the Supra's exterior, and I'm going to be very honest. One thing I don't really like about this car is the number of fake vents in it. You can clearly tell that this is fake, you can clearly tell that this is fake. This is functional, this is functional. And another problem with this car is that the number plate bracket is too big, but you can get an aftermarket bracket which makes it look so much better. One thing I really like about this car is the front headlights, and this DRL on this car, this specific car, is upgraded to a RGB, LDMI, HDQ, BBQ light, so you can change to any color that you want to. And one very cool thing about the lights are there's little red stripes, which I think is a fantastic touch. Moving on to the side, another fake vent right here, which is annoying, but the thing is, this bonnet is really long. It reminds me of the SLS AMG that Mercedes made, and this is upgraded to carbon fiber on this car. I think that looks fantastic, and if it had a carbon bonnet, it would look even cooler. Now 19-inch wheels at the front and the back, and you can clearly tell that this is a coupe. The favorite part of the whole car for me, this cat meme. Perfect touch, I love that. Anyway, another fake vent right here, and this car also gets a carbon side skirt. That's pretty cool. Siding wise, I think this has got to be one of the best looking coupes ever, and this has even upgraded carbon fiber mirrors. Yeah, so much carbon. This roof, I think that's a carbon wrap. Yep, that's a carbon wrap, but overall, this car, exterior wise, pretty beautiful. It is very short, surprisingly short. At the back of the Supra GR, I think this is the best looking angle of the car. I do love this. I do love the rear tail lights, and the best part about the overall back is this rear diffuser. Yes, it is plastic, but you do get this F1 style light, and the exhaust looks amazing because it's a dual exhaust. Favorite part of the car for me, the M badge. It looks very appropriate on this car, and overall, exterior wise, I think this is a very good looking car. It's a shorter wheelbase than the Subaru BRZ, which means it's more fun, but this looks way bigger and cooler than the Toyota GT86.
No doubt about it, this is one of the best looking Toyotas ever made. And that brings us to some of the coolest features of the A90 Supra.
Even in 2025, you can get the GR Supra as a manual. That's pretty cool.
It comes with Brembo 4-piston calipers, and it comes with a double bubble roof because it's a race car, baby. A race car, the baby. Race car, baby. Because it's a race car, baby.
The best thing about the Mark V Supra and the Mark 4 Supra is they're highly customizable, and this B58 can push a lot of power if it's done right. Another very cool thing about the Supra is now this is a sports car and the rear fenders are properly thick. So when you look at the side mirrors, you can see that the fenders come out, and it feels like you're driving a Koenigsegg Agera. Best car ever. Before you go on with the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. We are a small channel, so any engagement helps. Anyway, back to the video.
However, not everything's cool about it. So let's talk about the annoying features of it.
For a sports car that's highly sought after, there's plenty of fake vents. There's one here, one here, one here, and another one here. It's highly disappointing from our German and Jap counterparts.
The tire noise inside the car is very loud, so sound insulation on the Supra is bad. All Supras that came out after 2021 got a locked ECU, so if you wanted to extract optimal power, you would have to send the ECU to get it unlocked, which would cost you extra.
It doesn't get a boot opening button.
And the most annoying thing about the Supra ownership is the fact that you will get comments saying, oh, it's just a BMW, but guess what? You're getting a BMW for the price of a Toyota. How cool is that?
Now, it's time to explore the German heritage of this car. And that brings us to the engine, price and specs of the new GR Supra.
It's powered by a BMW B58 engine, which is essentially a 6-cylinder turbo engine, which pushes out 382 horsepower and 500 Nm of torque. Now you can get this as 6-speed manual or a 8-speed automatic. And for price wise, you can get a GR GT for $93,000 drive away. But with a few more features added on, you can get the GTS for $103,000. Now for that price point, you can get a 400Z Nismo or a BMW M340i with xDrive.
Now compared to the 400Z Nismo, I think the 400Z Nismo looks a bit better and the interior is more sports carish, but the Supra gets way more technology than the 400Z Nismo. And compared to the BMW, now the M340i, yes, it does get xDrive, but that's $20,000 more expensive compared to the Supra. And that's not a real M car. So if you buy the M340i, yes, people will say not a real M car, but if you get a Supra, people will know that it's actually a sports car.
Because it's a race car, baby.
But here's the thing, if you're wearing a suit and you get out of a JDM, it's not classy, but if you get a BMW for the same price of this, it will actually suit you, because suits and German cars, perfect combo. But suits and JDMs, yeah.
And with that bold statement that will piss off most JDM fanboys, let's move on. Let's go over its interior and see what the hype is about.
Okay, let's do a quick POV of the interior. Let's start with the steering wheel, Alcantara. You do get a racing stripe. It feels very BMW-y. This bit makes it feel a bit cheap, and even the paddle shifters make it feel a bit cheap, but it looks amazing. You do get a digital driver's display. I do like the Toyota Supra digital driver's display. I think that's one of the best looking ones. And if you move on to the side, you can see that the doorknob is basically from BMW, and you do get BMW seaters as well. Now this is the Supra GTS, which means you get a JBL sound system and a heads-up display. And one of my favorite things about this car is the second you open your door, you can see that the doors still say Toyota Supra, and that's a pretty nice touch. Anyway, let's move on. You do get the BMW iDrive system, so it is a BMW after all. This reminds me of a 2013 BMW 3 Series, the BMW that we started this channel with. That's what it reminds me of. Let's move on. Center console, you do get carbon fiber. I do love this design. It looks very premium. This feels very, very high quality as well. No screeching, so that's nice. You do get two cup holders, but the thing is it's in an odd spot, because if you're driving, I'm gonna leave my hand here and the cup holder becomes useless. And the seating, now you do get sport bucket seats. You do get a red and white stitching instead of the BMW blue, white and dark blue stitching. Wait, BMW is red, blue and dark blue. So you get white and red on the Supra. Alcantara and leather, which is pretty nice. The design does look like an old BMW, but I think it is fancy because the build quality is pretty great. There's no creaking. There's a bit of creaking over here, but overall, design wise, I do like it. The thing is, this is a 2025 car, but it feels like it's a 2016 car, which is not that great. But overall, interior, seats are comfortable, looks premium, can't complain. Honestly, can't complain. And fitment wise, got a bit of headspace, that much, but leg space is a bit of a problem, because if you look, my knees touching the steering wheel, and leg space wise, I do have a bit of a problem.
It's time to hit the road and see what the Supra feels like. Is it really a sports car? Let's find out.
Okay, let's go for a drive in the Toyota GR Supra. After 5 years, I'm sitting in one, and I gotta say, my back hurts already.
Yeah, it is like first impressions. It's like, oh my god, why are you getting into, like, let's say a Miata? It's so small and compact.
Yeah.
Like it's absolutely weird.
I'm shocked, dude. I'm not even kidding. My back hurts from the seat.
Like driving before, when we just drove this, I was like, windscreen is so small. I can just imagine them like, oh,
the visibility is bad.
It's bad.
Because even the rear one, it's meh. Yeah. And those pillars here, it makes a major blind spot. Now, this is a single clutch gearbox, and let's start with our favorite, acceleration.
Let's go.
Ooh, acceleration is pretty good on this. Wow, it's very, very nice. I mean, 380 horsepower, but this car feels very, very torquey, so that's pretty nice. There's 500 Newton meters of torque, so that's nice. And the other thing is this car's handling, very, very accurate. It is so accurate, it's surprising me. For a rear wheel drive car with this much traction, it's surprising. And it can get to the corners very, very easily. So handling wise, it's a good car. But the thing is, this car's exhaust is dog shit. Unfortunately, it's dog shit. You can't really hear anything. For a sports car, you kind of have to have a loud exhaust. I mean, there's an owner that we know that has a Supra and he has a titanium exhaust. That sounds amazing.
And
but the
mind
stock
you,
one,
he did that like a week after owning it.
yeah.
So-
But then this car, the stock exhaust is disappointing. It reminds me of the BMW M2 Comp that we filmed.
Yeah.
We love that car, and this car's handling is literally on a very, very similar level, and that's thanks to the short wheelbase as well. Another thing is this car's braking is it's too soft for a sports car.
Yeah.
Overall driving, I will say that this car's seating is very uncomfortable for me, unfortunately. It does. Now the key question, does it feel like a sports car? It's a hard
Look, sort of. Because it has the vibes of a sports car. Because like if you take for example like the 4C was also like this. The seats were quite low. The windscreen was small.
But
it was
the
more
4C
of a compact cockpit. Whereas this, you would expect it to be a bit more buffy, a bit more spacious or
But
wide
it's not.
in the interior. But it's like extremely compacted.
Yeah.
And that is also because of this massive, thick and wide doors as well.
Yeah.
Because like you feel you're
Like-
you're boxed in.
Yeah, I'm 6'2" and sitting in a Supra, it's very uncomfortable. It's very
Yeah.
compact, unfortunately.
And like the roof space is quite.
Roof space is okay, but like I'm literally like stuck into this.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a Formula 1 driver who can't even move. I can move my head and my arms. Even my arms, it's just knocking on every single pillar in this car. Not very practical. Because like the Type R was a much more spacious car, and I feel like the Type R is what, $75,000 drive away.
Yeah.
That's worth the money, but a Supra for $101,000, is that worth it? We'll find out.
And that brings us to the final thoughts of the A90 Supra. We have to admit we are being a little harsh on the car, but here's what we really think.
Kevin, I'm gonna let you start.
Man, I was like about to think, oh, let's have Dinuk start and then let me think. Okay, starting off, is this a car that I will buy? Unfortunately, look, it has its pros, but it has a lot of cons as well, which would lead me into being like, no. Now, with this car, I would have to give a rating of, a 7 or 7.5. Look, this car is aggressive from the outside, and it has a lot of cool things that I would appreciate of it. One being it's a Supra, and everything else just falls apart, with the interior being a big letdown. Not the interior wise, but the driving aspect of the interior. Now, like we said before, it is very compact, and it does make you feel a bit uncomfortable driving this. It does make you feel like you're driving a Formula 1 car or something like that, which is quite cool. Now I get that, but on every aspect, if I'm to buy this vehicle, that it wouldn't be, especially for the price of it, what it is. What about you?
Okay.
And mind you, it's more German than a Japanese car.
And I love German cars, so that's a plus for me. Now I'm gonna start with the price point. $102,000 for this? No way. It's not worth 100 grand, unfortunately. There is no way anyone can justify a Supra for $100,000. It's unfortunately not it. I would rather get a Type R for 75,000 than a Supra. Anyway, I'm gonna start with the exterior. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. Interior, I do like it. I like the build quality, but design wise, it looks 2016ish. This is remember the very first car that we filmed on the channel, my sister's 3 Series?
Yeah.
This is the same interior.
Yeah.
It's literally the same interior, so that's a bit of a letdown. Anyway, moving on to the driving. Not as engaging. It feels like you're driving a BMW M240i.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel sports carish.
No,
It looks like a sports car, but unfortunately it doesn't really drive like one.
Yeah.
The acceleration is pretty good, handling's pretty good. I think what needs to be done is the exhaust needs to be upgraded for sure, because this exhaust is nothing but disappointing, unfortunately. For a sports car, why does it come with that exhaust? And it costs 100 grand as well. Put a proper exhaust on the Supra. And the second thing is, I think the suspension needs a lot more work.
Yeah.
Because it feels not too soft, neither does it feel engaging and hard. It's too boring.
Yeah, it's too. The suspension feels just a little meh, which makes it feel like more of a daily driver than a sports car.
So overall, do I think the Supra is a sports car? It looks like one, but does it drive like one? No, it feels like a mid-level BMW, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But the good thing about the Supra is the short wheelbase makes it really fun to drive. I think if you get a Supra, I think you should lower it or put it on coils and make the car really come alive. That would be a very good upgrade for this car. But overall, B58 engine, it can be tuned to crazy amounts of horsepower, so that's a pretty good thing. It has like 90% of a sports car persona, but it's missing that 10% when it comes to like driver's feel. Like when you're driving this, I would say that this feels more like a daily driver than a proper sports car, because the Miata would feel more of a sports car than this Supra, unfortunately. But do I like it? I like the way it looks, and I like the potential this car has. And overall, I would give it a 7. But don't get me wrong,
It is a good car.
It is a good car. It's one of the most beautiful cars ever. It's what's the word? It feels like it's overcompensating.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. This is gonna piss off a lot of Supra owners.
I mean, one person that will especially.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's my honest opinion, and
and everyone has the vehicles that they like, and for people who own this vehicle, good on them. Like,
I think most people that buy this car love it for the short wheelbase and the exterior.
I mean, I see why people would buy it just because of the short wheelbase.
But like 100 grand is way too much though. It's way too much for a Supra. Sorry, it's not worth it. It's not worth the money. I would rather get a dealer demo or a used car, not a brand new.
I rather get an M2 comp.
Yeah, for like
For the
literally
price.
for 100 grand, I would get a dealer demo of M2 comp. Bullshit. This price point is bullshit, but I will get a used one.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. See you guys in the next one.